Hey guys, welcome to Crush Carb, where we crush carbs, not flavors. It's taco time. Most of you love tacos, and many of you think you cannot enjoy them while sticking to a low-carb healthy diet. But today, I'm going to prove you wrong by sharing my recipe for low-carb delicious tacos. When you go to a Mexican restaurant, the tacos are usually not low-carb because they're either made with flour tortillas or corn tortillas, both of which are high in carbs. So what is my go-to alternative? My go-to alternative is almond flour tortillas. So I use the brand Siete. These are very delicious, very healthy, and low in carbs. So these are made with blanched almond flour, and what I love about these the most is the minimal clean ingredient list. So when you need something quick and healthy and you do not have time to make fresh almond flour tortillas at home, these are a great option. Today, I'm going to show you how to make low-carb chicken tacos and low-carb veggie tacos. So let's get started. When I'm not in the mood of meat, I want to have veggie tacos. But I used to wonder how to keep them low-carb. At most Mexican restaurants, veggie tacos are filled with beans and veggies. But let's be real, the beans are high in carbs. Yes, they do have protein, but they're not the best choice for a low-carb diet. And just having a tortilla with veggies is just not that satisfying, right? You're like missing that protein punch. So that's when I started experimenting with tofu. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't always a fan of tofu because of the texture and the taste. But once I started playing around with the seasonings and the cooking methods, everything changed. The type of tofu you use matters as well. So if you are new to tofu, tofu is made of soybean and it has a high amount of protein. It is also available in different forms at the grocery store. So you can either find firm, super firm, or extra firm. So I have here in a bowl tofu that I have already chopped up. So this is the organic, non-GMO, extra firm tofu. That's the one that you should always buy. So I am going to be transferring this tofu to the ceramic pan because we're going to be stir-frying this tofu for our veggie tacos. So I have raised my gas up to medium heat. So I do want to note that I did not add any oil here at this point because we're stir frying the tofu and the tofu is moist. So if you have never worked with tofu, tofu comes in a packet that contains liquid and the liquid acts like a preservative so it doesn't go bad. And at this point, if you do add oil, then that moisture will react with the tofu and it could splash on you and it can hurt you because it'll be very hot. So you want to be careful. So you do not want to hurt yourself. So please be careful with that. So while this is going, I'm going to be working on what I like to call my fajitas. So these are my bell peppers and onions. So I have red bell peppers, green bell peppers, and onions in here. Just the equal amount of all of them. Doesn't matter how much you add of what. And these are so delicious to add in tacos. They add really good flavor. I like to overload my tacos, but it's totally up to you on what you like to add. But I definitely recommend making these because they're super delicious and they take your tacos to a next level. So I have here in a pan the peppers and onions, and I'm going to be sauteing these until they get nice and golden brown. So you can see here, all the liquid has absorbed from the tofu. During the cooking process, you want to press down on the tofu so more of that liquid can get released. So all of that can get absorbed and then the tofu can cook really well and get very flavorful. So what I just did is I drizzled in just a little bit of cooking oil. You don't want to add too much. I use olive oil as my choice of cooking oil. You can use whatever you like to use. You don't want to add too much, but you do need to add that little bit of oil because you want all those seasonings that we're going to add on here to get incorporated onto the tofu so it can mix in well with the tofu. You can see how nice and golden brown it's getting. We're almost there. This is almost done. All right, this is almost golden brown. I'm going to give it like just a minute or two. While that's going, I'm going to check out my peppers. Oh my gosh, it looks delicious. This is exactly what we're looking for, nice and golden brown. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce my heat all the way to low. And now I'm going to be adding some seasonings to my peppers and onions here. So starting off with some black pepper. So I have here 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. You do not want to add too much black pepper because black pepper can be very overpowering if you add too much, and then it will overtake all the other flavors. So you do not want to add too much. Just 1/4 of a teaspoon is good. So depending on however much veggies you're using here, just add a little bit. So 1/4 teaspoon should be sufficient. All right, and then I have here 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder. This is up to your preference on how much you like for your spice level. I like to have that bit of spicy flavor just to get that kick of spice. So I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon. It's not too spicy, you just get that flavor. But you can definitely reduce this to 1/4 if you do not like the spicy flavor at all. And then lastly, salt to taste. I'm going to raise my heat to medium just to get all those seasonings to get incorporated and mixed in well with the fajitas. Oh my god, this looks so good. My mouth is already watery. Alright, smells so good. All the seasonings have been mixed in, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off my gas. Our fajitas are ready for our tacos. That quick and easy to make these. Coming back to our tofu here, just look how nice and golden brown that is. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my gas to all the way to low heat, and now we're going to be adding our seasonings. So for our seasonings, I have here 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. You want to add a lot of cumin powder because this is what really gives really good flavor here to your tofu. All right. And then I have here 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Just like what I said for the fajitas, you do not want to add too much because it could be very overpowering and you don't want it to overtake all the other flavors. So just 1/4 teaspoon of the black pepper. All right. And then I have here 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. So I have granulated garlic powder because that's usually the version I have at home all the time. But you just want to add a little bit. So just 1/4 teaspoon because you're not really pulling out that garlic flavor here. You're just adding the garlic to balance out all those flavors together on the tofu, you know, so you don't want to make it garlicky. So make sure you do not add a lot, just 1/4 teaspoon. That'll be enough. And lastly, I'm going to be adding chili powder. So again, up to your spice level that you prefer. I have here 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder. You can reduce it if you do not like it that spicy. You definitely do want to add some chili powder here, even if you don't eat spicy, because it adds really good flavor overall. So even if you just add like 1/4 teaspoon, that'll be good enough. Now I'm just going to mix everything here together, and I'm also going to raise my heat back to medium heat because I want to get all these seasonings to get incorporated onto the tofu and mix in very well. And of course, you can't have anything without salt, right? I don't know how I forgot this, but make sure you do add salt to taste. Alrighty, everything looks all nicely incorporated. It looks so good and it smells so good here. Oh my gosh. Alright, we got our veggie protein ready for our veggie tacos. So for our chicken tacos, I already have my chicken ready ahead of time because I usually have this ready ahead of time because it's really quick and easy. And easier, it's just easier for me to have it ready ahead of time too. But this is ground chicken. So I'm going to tell you how I made this really quick and easy basic recipe of mine I use for a lot of recipes. It's just ground chicken that you cook up in some butter. So you just cook it until it turns white. And then for seasonings, you're going to be adding about 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper, salt to taste, and I put 1/2 of a teaspoon of chili powder, but you can add however much you like per your spice level. And that's it. That's how you make your chicken. So that quick and easy. And next, what I have here is pico de gallo. So I also have made this ahead of time. It's also very quick and easy to make this. So if you buy this from the grocery store for your tacos, then you are doing the wrong thing because this is so quick and easy to make at home. All it is just chop the tomatoes with chopped onions, mix them together. You want to have the equal proportion of onions and tomatoes. And then you're just going to add some chopped cilantro, put in some lime juice or lemon juice, and season it with some salt. And that's it. Your pico is ready. And next I have here cheese for the tacos and lettuce for the tacos. So another favorite ingredient of mine for tacos is Mexican crema. So this is my alternative to sour cream. Usually in tacos you usually see sour cream, but I love Mexican crema because I find it more creamy. It's more delicious. It's very, very light. Sour cream can be a little heavy. So I love to use Mexican crema. If you have never used it, I suggest you definitely try this. And lastly, what I'm going to be showing you all is how to make my delicious taco sauce. And I call this taco sauce salsa crema. So there are two main ingredients that go into this sauce, and that is salsa and mayonnaise. So I want to give you guys a quick background on how I came up with this sauce. So I love to make tacos at home, and I cater for like 50 people. So everyone loves my tacos, so they always tell me, I want your tacos. And one time, I didn't have time to make taco sauce. So I had to come up with something really quick. So I thought of, I have salsa at home, and I had mayonnaise. So what about a salsa crema sauce? So I played with some ingredients and I came up with this delicious sauce, which is the best sauce I have ever made. This sauce is so great because you can cater it to all people, right? It's mild, it's not spicy because not everyone can eat spicy, right? So you want to cater to everyone and make sure you have like a mild sauce so that everyone can enjoy it. And this is mild, not spicy, and is very flavorful. So I'm going to show you how to make this quick recipe so you can make it at home. So I have here salsa. So you want to make sure that whatever items you do buy from a grocery store, you look at the ingredient list because you want to go for those minimal clean ingredients as possible. So that's the salsa that I have here. And so I have here 7 tablespoons of this salsa, and I have here 1.5 tablespoons of mayonnaise. So I'm going to be adding this mayonnaise to our salsa. So you want to make sure that you have more salsa than mayonnaise, because if you add too much mayonnaise, then it's going to overtake that salsa flavor and you're not going to get that salsa flavor. So you really want to pull out that salsa flavor as well and yet make it a little creamy. All right, we've got our mayonnaise mixed with our salsa. This is already delicious here, but I like to add a bit more seasonings to enhance the flavor even more. So to that, I'm going to be adding just 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. You do not want to add too much because you're not bringing that garlic flavor. It's just to enhance the flavor more of the sauce. And then I have here 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So this is just the small amount we're adding because this sauce is going to stay on the mild end. If you do like it spicy, you can add more of the cayenne pepper. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Mouth is already watery. So I added just a pinch of garlic powder, not too much because you do want to pull out that garlic flavor. And I added just a pinch of cayenne pepper here. Cayenne pepper is going to be really delicious in this sauce because it has a spice, but you're not really pulling out that spice, right? You're just like balancing out all the flavors together here. So we're still keeping it on the mild side. So you want to make sure you add just a pinch if you don't want it spicy. Everything's mixed here. And I'm going to give this a taste now. As always, delicious. It's like the best sauce ever for tacos. So I have here a skillet that I have heated up. So I'm adding the almond flour tortilla on the skillet. And as the instructions say, you just want to heat it up 10 seconds for each side. You don't want to get it too brown or too golden brown because then it'll get hard. When you start to see those bubbles popping up, you just want to flip it and that's it. You just want to cook it just like that. You want to keep it soft. Make sure it doesn't get hard. So don't get it too brown. So you got to keep an eye on this. Look at that. The other side is ready as well, and that's it. I love these almond flour tortillas. They're so good. You know, I make so many recipes out of this. You can't even believe how many recipes I have with this. All right, so I got my second tortilla ready here as well. Now we're going to be assembling our tacos. So I have here lettuce. I love lettuce. I just love that crunch. And now I'm going to be adding our veggie protein or tofu. So we got our tofu here. And we're going to add our chicken here for our chicken tacos. And next we have our fajitas here. Grabbing right out of our pan. Just going to be adding a little bit on both of our tacos. And then next we're going to be adding our pico that we made here. Let's add a little bit of pico to the tacos. And our second to last ingredient we're going to be adding here is our Mexican crema or sour cream, whatever you want to use. Just drizzle a little bit. And then lastly, we're going to be adding my favorite taco sauce, or salsa crema. Just to drizzle some amount on top. So delicious. Just look at that. You can add whatever ingredients you want to add here. That's what's so great about having homemade food, because you can be creative and add whatever you want to add, right? And you also know what you're adding in it as well. You can also add Mexican cauli rice in here. So I have shown you guys a recipe of my Mexican cauli rice, and you guys could add that in here as well, or you can just have it as a side to your tacos. Absolutely a great compliment. So here we are. Super delicious, healthy, and low carb. I got some lime wedges on the side. You can squeeze some lime on the top of your tacos and add great flavor. But this was so quick and easy, so now you can always enjoy tacos at home while on a low carb, healthy diet. My mouth is so watery and I can't wait to dive in. I want to go for the tofu taco here. Wow, just look at that. Look at all those ingredients we have in there. Oh my gosh. The peppers and onions, the pico, our delicious taco sauce or salsa crema. Oh my gosh. Let me get right in. So delicious. That tofu is just bang on. It's so good. The tofu taco was so good. Now I'm going to try the chicken taco. Wow. Just looks amazing. So good. I love to have taco nights, and these are just the perfect tacos to enjoy. You're eating healthy, they're low carb. You have nothing to worry about when you have a delicious taco recipe right here. If you enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to CrushCarb. Try this out and let me know in the comments below how you liked it. So until next time, let's keep cooking, experimenting, and as always, let's keep crushing carbs.